Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am here to kill some time. I have to go to the post office, but school just let out. I always feel like going at this time of the day, and then I have to wait. Because when school lets out, there's just no way I can get out of my apartment complex because nobody wants to let me out, and I hate that. While I'm waiting, I thought I could do a video, I guess, but I don't have anything to talk about really, and then I thought, I'm going to show you something. Something that I did last night. I was all alone last night and I was in the mood to do some crocheting, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to pass it by you guys to see if it might be a good idea or if it might just be too much work, but it's something that I've been wanting to do, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. So I was just playing around with yarn and a crochet hook. I could do that for hours, days, weeks, months, years. To me, a vacation would be just sitting in a chair with a crochet hook, good lighting, and some yarn. I would love that. So I just was crocheting, practicing, experimenting, and then I would take it apart, and then I'd do it again, take it apart, do it again. So when I was finally done, I just started winding the yarn around the skein of yarn. Now this happens to be yarn from a bag that I got at the thrift store. I think the last time I went to the thrift store. I haven't been there in forever. And I believe I paid like, I don't know if it was even $1. It might have been like $2, and I got it half price, and I got, quite a bit of yarn. So I was really happy about that for scraps. Anyway, so I had one of those skeins, and I wrapped all the yarn up and tucked in the little end, and then looked at it. I don't know. What do you think? Look at this. Oh my God. Only I can come up with something like this, right? Yeah. Anyway, that was totally accidental. But I should go out with this and just put that on the table somewhere or something. I thought it came out, I don't know, pretty good. I'm gonna want to show that to everybody. I don't want to take it apart. So anyway, back to the crochet. I've had 2 ideas that I wanted to do, actually 3 ideas, maybe 5. One is that I wanted to do a row by row afghan. I kind of decided against it because I really don't have the time to make an entire afghan, even if I'm just doing row by row, and the rows would have all been different. So I could do maybe a small lap afghan like that. Again, not sure how much interest there would be in something like that. It would not be a set like every first of the month or something like that. It would be just whenever I want to sit down and relax and crochet. But see, I don't relax when I'm recording for a video, and I don't have a good setup. I don't want to be sitting at my table with the camera in front of me, and my hands are on, there's me, a camera, and then my hands, and I have to be like looking up, down, whatever, to try to crochet. So I don't know. And I don't want something overhead or over me because I need to be seeing the little screen to know if I'm in the camera, in the screen. I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm doing. And when I have the camera facing away from me, my little screen just completely turns so I can see as I'm crocheting. You don't need to know all this shit. Okay, so that's one idea. A row by row as we go, with different stitches. It's like a sampler afghan. And then the other idea is freeform crochet, which I really want to do, but boy oh boy, I've never done it, and I played with that last night just trying to make things up. This is, you can look it up, freeform crochet on Google, and then click images, and you're going to see all kinds of stuff. It's to create almost like art, but you can just crochet in any direction, any stitch, and it can be all like weird. It doesn't have to be rectangular. And I played with that a little bit. It's something I would absolutely love, and I would get more creative in time. But again, I thought that's probably a little bit much as a series. That kind of series would be inspiration only. I would not be teaching anything other than maybe people who actually know how to crochet might be able to have ideas and go on their own, but it wouldn't be like showing you how to do what I'm doing, because I wouldn't even know what I'm doing. I wouldn't know until I do it. So there's freeform crochet. We need to get that in somehow at some point. Even if it is just me having created something and then just showing it to you. I mean, I'd love to do that. And then the one that I think I have the most hope for is a Scrappy afghan. This would be making crocheted squares, rectangles, maybe even some granny squares, things like that. Any size, any color, any thickness, thick, thin yarn. To use your scrap yarns, if it's really thin, you can double up, stuff like that. And then we put those things together. Now, I got that idea from the crochet block of the month that I'm doing, where my blocks don't all match up. But when I join them, I make it work. But with the Scrappy afghan, all the little crocheted blocks, you know, if you just have a pile and they're all different sizes, well, you can start putting it together, and then you say, okay, on this one now, I would need to crochet like 3 more inches to match up against this one. You know, and I think that would be super fun, and you can crochet in any direction, and again, any stitch. And that is something that I could probably see myself doing, because again, I don't have to really teach you anything unless I come up with a stitch that I would love to show you, and I could say, here's how this stitch works, and you need a multiple of this or whatever, and go ahead and just make yourself a piece any size that you want if you want to put it in your Scrappy afghan. It's a great way to use up balls of yarn, and I wish I had all my yarn from Maine. I wish that was one thing that I would have done anything to bring with me, and I should have done that. But I didn't. All right, so live and learn. So those are my crochet ideas. If you like any of those, let me know in the comments. And yes, I do knit, and I love to knit, but I cannot figure out how to record that, because I knit with one of the needles under my arm, and I just work around that needle. That needle never moves, never touches my hand. I just work around that needle, my armpit needle. Funnier. This is funnier. So, I can never use that yarn now. It's forever in penis mode. I don't know who texted me. Let me just look, okay? It wasn't Derek, because I was open on Derek. And it could be... Nope, wasn't Joe either. My friend Cherie. I can't remember now what I was saying about the crocheting. Oh yeah, and the knitting. So, yeah. I love to knit. I love to knit and crochet. But I guess I'm going to go now, right? Let me see what time it is. I can go. Almost time for me to leave the parking lot and be able to actually get out. Oh my God. The other day, I was with Joe, and he was driving. And he doesn't have AC in his new used SUV. So we had the windows down, and we were trying to pull in, and nobody wants to fucking stop, because we have to take a left to get into the apartment complex, and school had let out, and nobody wants to stop. Nobody. So it gets to the point that the cars going in that direction are stopping because there's a light, and they're built up all the way to like where we are. So nice people would say, oh, well, I can't go any further anyway, so I'll stop here. So we'll let these nice people into their parking lot. And I actually was out the window. There was a space, and I'm like this. How can you see me? You know, I'm letting the people like, please stop. And the woman, and there was another woman, 2 women in the vehicle, would not stop. And I got out that fucking window, my whole head, and I'm like, fuck you! fuck you! I was so mad. I was yelling at the top of my lungs. That's called road rage. It makes me so mad. And the woman goes, and I was giving the finger. Fuck you. I don't know if I showed you that part. Fuck you. Fuck you. But I was screaming it. I was so mad. Felt so good after. Joe thought it was hilarious. And he was, mad too. He's like, why can't people just slow down a little bit? They know that there's a whole shitload of cars behind them and that nobody else is going to want to stop either. So why can't you just slow down and let somebody in their fucking driveway? I do that. I'm so aware of, okay, we're going to be at a light. I'm going to stop here in case anybody wants to go through here. There's a store there or something. I don't know. People are just assholes sometimes. I don't know. But that was my reaction. This was funnier. All right, you guys. I'm going to hang up now. I have no clue how anybody's going to take this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back more soon. Bye.